Brace yourself for the iPhone X price and release date that Apple announced on Tuesday. It costs more than any prior iPhone and ships later than expected. That's the only bad news though. Apple claims the iPhone X, which is pronounced iPhone 10, is worth your money and the extra wait time. This is Apple's 10th anniversary iPhone and it's making big changes for 2017. The iPhone X wasn't the only smartphone announced by Apple CEO Tim Cook on September 12. The iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus were unveiled at the Steve Jobs Theater on Apple's new campus too. What's different here is that the screen on the iPhone X extends right to the bottom of the device with the physical home button nowhere in sight. That's going to be one of the biggest changes for any Apple fans looking for continuity in their iPhone experience, as they'll need to alter the way they whip through their phone. The resolution of the screen has thankfully been upgraded from the iPhone 7. As the sub-HD pixel count wasn't really something Apple could hope to get away with in 2017 in the face of such strong competition from the rest of the industry. Apple's users don't want to move away from its ecosystem. But if certain specs aren't met these days, then envy can develop when phones are shown off at the bar, so the iPhone X has been upgraded to match its rivals, with a resolution of 2436 by 1125 on the new Super Retina HD display. The only reason the pixel count needed to be upgraded was that there's a definite boost to be had with the sharper screens that makes PPS look better and web browsing a more beautiful experience, and with Apple charging as much as it is for this phone, it needed to bring a better screen. The LCD screens had a decent contrast ratio and were colorful and bright, qualities that are as engaging as chucking in a load more pixels. But the move to the OLED display in the iPhone X has definitely brought an upgrade, with the blacks deeper, the colors richer and, well, the overall effect just brilliant. Apple says it has redesigned its cameras, though it sticks with much of the same specs as last year. You get 12-megapixel cameras with every new 2017 iPhone. Of course, if you want a dual-lens camera, you have to go with the iPhone X or iPhone 8 Plus, and if you want optical image stabilization on both the wide-angle and telephoto lenses, you'll have to buy the iPhone X. OIS helps make up for hand shakiness when taking photos. The camera lens actually moves with your unsteady hands. Now it's on the telephoto lens too, so photos with 2x optical zoom can be blur-free as well. The iPhone X camera sensors are also larger and faster, capturing what Apple calls deep pixels, with either in-frame 1.8 aperture, wide-angle, GLE, or improved focus 2.4 aperture, telephoto lens. It also uses its new A11 Bionic chip and machine learning to optimize for scenes even before an image is taken. Apple's iPhone X True Depth camera is no ordinary selfie camera. It's 7-megapixel but packs more technology than we've ever seen in a front-facing camera array. It adds portrait mode to your selfies, giving us the first iPhone X doesn't have a single fixed focus camera. This means your selfies can exhibit that stylish background blurred too. Depth of field is way better than the beauty mode that's popular on Android phones. The blur effect deserves to be on the background, not your skin. What else is packed into the screen cutout at the top besides the 7MP camera, or a flood illuminator proximity sensor, ambient light sensor, speaker, microphone, and sophisticated face mapping dot projector? The overall mix of technology is great and really brings about a special-looking iPhone, rather than Apple rehashing the same tired design again. Plugging in your iPhone X could be as easy as dropping it on a wireless pad, and that's the idea behind the new iPhone X wireless charging feature. No more home button. You won't find a physical home button on the iPhone X or any home button at all. Apple's all-screen design doesn't have room for it or the fingerprint sensor. Having no home button and Touch ID sensor is going to be the biggest change that long-time Apple users will have to get used to the new iPhone controls. How do you return to the home screen without a home button? Simply flick an open app upward from the bottom, like you're throwing it aside. This oddly enough if you knew home button. You bypass the lock screen the same way, once you're authenticated with Face ID or a password. With all the leaks ahead of Apple's big event this week, we thought we knew all about the iPhone X. It's just a $999 combo of iOS, a bezel-less OLED screen, wireless charging and a polished glass backlight. We're familiar with all of those things, even the eyebrow-raising price from the world of Android, so the radically redesigned new iPhone flagship shouldn't feel all that radical. But for myself, and, I imagine, most current iPhone users, Apple's presentation threw up more questions than answers, and it positioned the iPhone X as the most enigmatic phone we've seen in years. Apple gave us a big headline at the iPhone X launch: it will last 2 hours longer than the standard-sized iPhone 7. It'll amount to all-day battery life depending on usage. You can easily pare down battery consumption with low-power mode in iOS 11 to have it last even longer.